For the past 3 years, I've been running this YouTube channel, combining it with my life, my hobbies, and my job. This channel helps businesses grow and marketers land their dream job. And of course, the most frequent question that I get is, how do you find the time for everything? So if you're thinking to start a channel for your business or for yourself, but just the idea of it makes you feel overwhelmed, continue watching, because in this video, I want to share my own stress-free YouTube framework that you can utilize to start your YouTube channel. You will see the exact scripts I use for my videos, the briefs I make for my video editor, my content calendar, and where I find inspiration for my videos. I'll also show you how I plan my week. At the end, I'll show you 3 tools that I personally use for myself that are completely free of charge, but the ones that can help you get views faster. So one thing that causes anxiety in our lives is when we simply don't know what's going to happen next. So this uncertainty is killing us. I mean, I think we've been living like that basically since 2020, but regardless, same applies for content creation. That's why to me, it's super important to make sure that I plan content well in advance. For example, I decided that the month of November is going to be all about the videos around the topics of creator economy, YouTube, and video marketing. That's why, as you can see in this calendar view, I've planned the next batch of videos just around that, and I planned that back in October well in advance. So let's take a closer look at one of the videos specifically and see how I planned an entire process around it. First things first, I make sure that I'm clear at least on the title and somewhat a general overview of the video content. And ideally, I also plan the thumbnail for the video. In fact, I never sit and start recording my video until those 3 things are planned. I then work on the script and I prepare a super detailed brief for my video editor at this point. This way I make sure that the final deliverable will look exactly the way I see that in my head. And of course, a super detailed brief is a must, simply to avoid those constant rounds of revisions. Next, I catch up with my video editor and we align on the deadlines. For example, if I know that I need to publish my video by the 4th of November, I usually tell him that the video needs to be ready by the 1st of November. Trust me, deadlines are always missed. So it's really important to have this buffer time, because this way you can make sure that some of the final tweaks are added and you can publish the video exactly on the date that you want it. So I replicate exactly the same process for all of my videos. And that's how I make sure that I have everything filmed for the specific day that I want to, everything published when I want exactly. And here's how I approach my weekly schedule. So I open my Google Calendar. First of all, I block Monday to Friday from 9 to 6 p.m. That's when I have my work hours. This is non-negotiable. This is only the time that I focus on my work. Then every Tuesday, I dedicate a couple of hours specifically for filming, and a few hours are blocked on Saturdays and Sundays for scripting. And that's also the time when I work on a more detailed script, on the thumbnail, the title. Now, here's what I do to get rid of idea crisis and just to avoid it in the first place. Because I'm deeply passionate about YouTube and I never ever watch it purely for entertainment anymore, unfortunately. I always have this kind of strategic approach in mind. I always try to analyze what kind of intros different YouTubers use, what kind of thumbnails they use. I always make notes, collect more ideas. On Pinterest, I have my own board where I collect different types of thumbnails. I also use Pinterest Chrome extension for pinning the thumbnails that I love a lot. And most importantly, I have this idea board on my Notion and I dump all of the ideas, even that I think are the craziest ones. But this way, when once a month I sit down and plan a batch of videos for the following month, I make sure that I'm never entirely zero at ideas, because I know I always have this kind of pipeline of content for the future. Of course, not all of those ideas are going to be used, but I can usually find at least a couple of ideas in those idea board that I can use for the following month. As human beings, we tend to avoid some things in our lives that are a bit too complicated from what we normally do. We tend to avoid something that we don't really enjoy doing, and this is just unconscious. And to me, this is everything having to do with the technical setup, right? Setting up my camera, the light, and all of that. That's why I make sure that I eliminate this friction as much as possible. So if you want to start a channel for your business, most likely you have some kind of a studio and all you need to do is just sit and hit the record button, and that's how it goes. However, if you don't have this luxury and you film at home, same way as I do, and if you don't have a big apartment, try to make sure that you at least always keep your equipment in the same place. And this is the setup that I have. So all I need to do is just to move my table a little bit and just hit the record button. Also, I make sure that my camera is always charged to avoid awkward situations. Next one, I always have these two set of clothes that I only use for my YouTube filming. This shirt and a black one. And this way I do not waste any extra time overthinking how I'm gonna be looking. Should I pick a new look for the next video? And this way I can just concentrate on producing high quality content. Finally, as promised, a few tools to help you get more views on YouTube, especially at the very beginning of your process. First of all, Thumbs Up, a website where you can upload the thumbnail of your video, add your title, and you can see a preview of what your thumbnail is going to look like on different devices, on different sizes, and you can make some tweaks based on that immediately. For example, you can notice that your text looks too small when looking on a mobile preview, and this can give you a hint that you need to enlarge that or just move the elements of your thumbnail a little bit. The second one is YouTube summary extension. You can get a summary or actually a script of any YouTube video with just one click. And this extension immediately gives you a summary of the video, but this is not the use case that I have for this tool. What I do is I usually do that only for the videos that I really like, that I want to kind of analyze and see why they work so well. So I ask ChatGPT to further analyze, for example, was there something special that they did at the very beginning? Was there some interesting hook? And perhaps there is some curious or intriguing phrase that I can steal and adopt for my future videos. The next one, free vidIQ extension. They have a paid version as well. However, at least for me, the free version is more than enough at this point. This helps me see the outliers. So videos on any YouTube channel that perform significantly better than the rest of the videos on that same channel. For example, I can analyze different channels on the topic of digital marketing and see what videos stood up on their channel. So the videos that got many more views than the channel average. And this way I can collect some ideas for my future videos. I don't necessarily need to produce exactly the same videos, but at least maybe a similar title or a similar thumbnail, for example. And if you want to learn how to create short form clips fast, continue watching this next video on my channel.